Okay, good morning everybody. Good morning, very nice to see such a large crowd. My name is Gloria Kerwin. I'm Director of Undergraduate Teaching and Learning in the School of Social Work and Social Policy, and I'm joined this morning by my colleague Professor Judy O'Shea, who is the coordinator of the Sociology and Social Policy degree. So I hope you're having an enjoyable day and you're very welcome to Trinity College. We're going to present to you the two degree programmes that are offered by the School of Social Work and Social Policy, namely the Bachelor in Social Studies, which is the main degree for people who are interested in a professional career in social work. I'll talk to you about that, and then I'll hand over to my colleague Judy O'Shea to talk to you about the BA in Sociology and Social Policy. Now, we have a very large crowd. We only have a half an hour, so I'm going to ask you, even if you're only interested in one of those degrees, can you stay seated for the remaining period of time that we have, because it's extremely disruptive if people begin to leave halfway through. All right, so without any further ado, I'm going to, can you see those slides? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think we'll try. Do we do that?
The lights down to the middle one.
Oh yeah. Now, is that better? I think that's better, yeah. Okay. So we're going to start this morning with just a short presentation on the BSS degree. Judy will do a short presentation, and hopefully we'll have time for any questions that people may have. The Bachelor in Social Studies degree is TR084. You can see the code here on this side, and not to be confused with the code for the BA in Sociology and Social Policy. So that's probably one of the most important things to take away from this session, or any of the sessions that you attend at the Open Day today in Trinity College, to be sure that you know exactly the correct course code of the course that you're interested in, because it can be really difficult if, no matter what your course choices are, if you write down the wrong course choice code on your CAO application form, it can cause difficulties if you don't correct it in time. So please note down those two course codes and make sure that you're able to distinguish between them and you know which is which. They're on all our information leaflets as well. We have some of the information leaflets here that you can take at the end. We also have an information stall in the examination hall, which is in Front Square, where there are more staff and some students from both degrees ready and willing to answer any of your questions. Okay. So very quickly then, the BSS degree, essentially it is a degree that is combining two things. There's two things going on in this degree. It is a fully fledged social science undergraduate bachelor's program. When you complete the BSS degree, you will be a social scientist. You will qualify with a very respectable social science degree. But alongside the study you'll have done in terms of social science, you will also have received substantial education and training in the field of social work. And on qualification, and this again is a question we often get, so I'll be very clear. When you qualify with the BSS honours degree, when you complete the 4 years of the programme, you are eligible to register with the state registration body for social workers, which is the Health and Social Care Professionals Council, known as CORU. So I've given you the website on here, www.coru.ie, and in case you're in any doubt about the degree programme that you're going on and whether or not it will lead you to eligibility to register as a professional social worker, you can check it out there on CORU. The BSS degree certainly does. And obviously, if you can't register as a social worker at the end of your degree, you're not actually going to be able to call yourself a social worker or apply for jobs that are confined to social work qualifications. So it is an important aspect. And there are other degree programs out there, but this is the only undergraduate social work degree program that is accredited to admit school leavers directly after the Leaving Cert. There is one other undergraduate degree program in UCC in Cork, but they can only admit people who are 23 years of age and over. So that's entirely for mature students. And there may be some people here today who have aspirations to come in to the BSS degree as a mature student, We have 10 places on the BSS degree for mature students. The degree in Cork is only for mature students, and the BSS is the only degree in the country that admits school leavers onto a professional social work qualification route. So that's something that people often query. They're not clear about that, but it is actually the case that the BSS degree will fully qualify you as a social worker. So on the programme then, because we have this mix of school leavers and mature students and even some international students, we have a very nice mixture of people and a very vibrant class profile in every year. We take in 45 students in total. So on the degree programme, there are roughly 180 students at any one time. So it's a very lively degree, all pursuing an interest in a career in social work. So it makes for a very interesting mix. On qualification, people with a BSS degree will be eligible to apply for jobs as social workers right across the health services, as well as the criminal justice system. The probation service is a national agency, and there are jobs throughout the country. Again, having a social work qualification makes one entirely eligible for any of those posts. Then there are the mental health services, lots of different organisations involved in community development, the whole disability sector, a whole range of different kinds of voluntary agencies providing services to very different groups within society and meeting various different needs. And then some of our students as well, they don't want to stay in Ireland. They're interested either in working abroad as a social worker in these kind of sectors, or perhaps getting involved in overseas development aid and working in developing countries. So these are the kind of career opportunities that a BSS degree will open up for a qualified social worker. After graduation, people, the BSS degree is very well regarded, and once you have experience, there is a career structure for social workers in Ireland, as there are in most other countries. Some students will come back at a later stage and pursue further postgraduate studies, possibly even a research degree such as a doctorate leading to a PhD. Just very briefly, I won't talk you down through all of these topics, but these are the kinds of subjects, the modules that you will have to study as part of your degree. So you're provided with the full range of social science subjects as listed here, including law and economics, sociology. All of those are part of the programme. We also then have to ensure that you get sufficient education on the range of social work theory and skills that you need in order to be fully qualified. So again, here's a sample list of some of the topics that you would be covering. We have to make sure that you're properly prepared to work in a range of social work settings, so whether it's with families or in mental health or with people with disability and so on and so forth. So again, all of these topics are covered at some stage across the 4 years of the programme. In addition then, and this is what I think makes the BSS a little bit of, it's a tough degree, it's quite demanding on students, but it's a very interesting degree, and probably one of the highlights for students is the opportunity that they get to go on 4 different work experience placements over the course of the degree. So basically, for each year of the programme, you are required to undertake a period of time spent in a relevant service agency. So in the first year, that's only for 6 weeks, but eventually it builds up to a full 14-week block placement under the supervision of a qualified social worker. We arrange those placements. We ask you what would you like. We consult with you about location and preference, but you're not actually required to organise those placements. The college fully engages with the agencies to ensure that you're properly insured, that all the necessary elements of the placement are in place, and that you're suited to it, and that they're happy to take you, etc., etc. Every placement will be located in a different setting, so essentially we're building your CV. By the end of your degree, not only do you have your degree, but you've had 4 different periods of direct and relevant work experience, which again, we know that employers find that very attractive, and it helps you feel confident and ready to go out as a professionally qualified social worker into, your first full-time job, because you've actually done it. By the time you finished your degree, you'll have roughly 26 weeks of full-time experience behind you, and students really feel the benefit of that, I think, and are fairly sure by the time they're qualified that they're well prepared. We do have opportunities for some international placements. We work with a number of universities and agencies in different parts of the world where we can provide opportunities. You don't have to go abroad, that's not a requirement of the BSS degree. But if students are interested and if they're able to support themselves in another country or whatever financially, then yes, this is a possibility. I think people who think that they're definitely ready are probably a little bit naive. It's more the people who think, I wonder, would I be able to do this job, are probably more tuned in to the demands of social work, but also aware that it could be a very interesting job. So my advice always is, if you're interested in people, if you see yourself working in the kinds of contexts and environments that I've highlighted for you, if you think that that would be something that you would be suited to, do you like variety, do you like meeting people, do you like different kinds of tasks and demands, and not be solely doing the same job every day, then yes, social work is probably something that you should consider. You're not ready yet. That's why you have to come in and do a full degree in social work. So you're right, you're not ready yet. But probably by the end of 4 years, if you're interested in this field of practice, we'll help you be ready, and we'll put everything we can into ensuring that you've got the necessary training behind you. So, you shouldn't really feel totally confident at this stage. It would be right to be a little bit hesitant. So don't let that stop you if you actually think this is a career that you would find very interesting. The Carew website, or the website of the Irish Association of Social Workers, will give you additional information about social work as a career, and it can be helpful to inform yourselves a little bit about that if you're just a little bit undecided. We have our leaflets which give some more website links and additional information for you as well. So what we would say is, if you're absolutely sure BSS is an excellent choice, particularly for school leavers, it really is the only direct route. If you're not sure, then the advice is to do a social science undergraduate degree, exactly like the one that Judy will talk to you about now, because the other route into social work is to do a general social science degree and then apply for a place on a master's in social work when you qualify as an undergraduate. And that will lead you to exactly the same place as the BSS, where you're eligible to apply for registration as a social worker. So there are a number of routes into social work. BSS offers a very direct one, but if you're really, really not sure, but you think maybe in the future, then you can hedge your bets by doing a social work degree first, and then considering whether or not social work is a good master's option for you. Last year, so the 2013 entry group needed 460 points. It can go up and down a little bit, but probably 460 is as close as we can get as to what it'll be next year. It's very difficult to predict. If you're applying as a mature student, you must fill out your CAO application form, but you must also fill out the mature student application form for Trinity College. So if you're 23 years of age and over and you're not coming in on your leaving cert points, you want to come in through the mature student entry route, please remember to fill out both of those application forms. We process the mature students in a slightly different way. We look at your application form, we will call you for interview if we think you're suitable, and we have only 10 places. But somebody has to get the 10 places. So I think people who come to open days who are very interested and motivated stand a very good chance of that. And as I say, we've more leaflets in the hall. Okay, so I'm just conscious of time, so I'm going to hand over to Judy. We'll hear from Judy, and then if people have questions, we can take them.
No, that's yours.
That's mine again. Which one? This one? No? There it is.
And what? And you just move up and down, is it?
Just click here, right?
can't see anything.
Just say to someone.
Okay, I prefer to use this. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. As Gloria said, I'm going to talk about the second degree course that we run in the School of Social Work and Social Policy, and that is the BA in Sociology and Social Policy. Gloria was emphasising the importance of having the course code for your application. So the course code for the Bachelor of Sociology and Social Policy is TR083. As with the Social Studies degree, it's a 4-year degree programme. The award that you get when you qualify after 4 years is a BA in Sociology and Social Policy. And the points for this current year, 2013, were 455. They tend to range from about 430, 440, up to 455, 460. So not quite as high as the Social Studies, but fairly close. Okay, now we're talking about this degree essentially is a social science degree where you have an option of studying in a wide range of social science topics or modules, but we have a particular emphasis on sociology and social policy. So that's what I'm going to talk about briefly. On the sociology side, the courses or the modules that we introduce you to, we look at the theories that explain social behaviour and social relationships with a focus on things like the family, work, gender, etc. So, a very comprehensive sociology programme. Now, on the social policy side, I'm presenting this material as identifying, because many of you may not have heard about social policy. You may not really have a clear idea about what social policy is. So I've outlined there a number of questions that hopefully your study of social policy will enable you to answer. So what are social policies and why do we need them? Who is responsible for making social policy, and what groups in society benefit from these social policies? Another question is who provides social policies, and even more importantly, who pays for these policies? Again, different groups in society both provide and pay for these policies. Some of the big social questions that we come across in general discussion in the media, on the radio, again, we look at these issues also. What are the causes of poverty, and how many people, what percentage of the population are living in or are close to poverty? Now, they're very big questions, but we will help you and direct you towards readings that will enable you to understand these questions and hopefully answer them. We look at the whole question of inequality in contemporary Irish society and focus on the question, is Ireland an unequal society? And again, there are a range of courses that focus on that dimension. Why are people homeless? There's a lot of discussion at the moment on the media. I saw a programme last night where Father Peter McVerry was talking about the increase in homelessness and apparently very significant at the moment. So again, you will have an opportunity to study in that area. Also, crime and social policy, the relationship between crime and social policy. And there are 2 different crime modules, as you see in the brochure. How about the Irish Health Service? The Irish Health Service is another area that we all have a view on, that perhaps we've heard about even if we're not studying in the area. So one of the questions that it's interesting to address is, why do we have the type of system that we have in Ireland at the moment, and why do we not have, say, the free service at the point of access like the British NHS? So again, a study of the history of health policy would help us to understand that question. The whole question of politics. Now, I mentioned to you that this is a social science degree course, and you do have an option on taking a range of political science modules as your extra modules. So again, we look at the extent to which politics matters in terms of the social policies that we have. And in recent times, ageing has become a very interesting and topical social phenomena, and we have a course on ageing. So again, these questions hopefully will give you a better understanding of what social policy is and what the study of social policy will introduce you to over the 4 years of the programme. Now, as Gloria said, there are a range of students who take most of our degrees. Now, the majority of students on the sociology and social policy degree are school leavers, but we do have 3 or 4 places for mature students. We also have some international and visiting students who choose to do some of the modules. And again, many of the courses that you undertake, you will also be taking with the students that are doing the social studies degree and other students who have an interest in looking at social policy. So again, a nice mix in classes with students undertaking study in both the social policy area and in the social studies area. Now, in terms of how the course is administered and organised, it's a joint degree between the School of Social Work and Social Policy and also the School of Social Sciences and Philosophy, which is where sociology is situated. So it's a joint degree, but because we're part of the wider BESS faculty, you also have options to do economics and politics and law courses to complement your social policy studies. Now, I'm just briefly there, you can see the range of courses and modules that we do in each year. I'm not going to talk about them all in detail. We do a range of introductory courses, and then you have options, to take something like law or psychology, or if you're interested in keeping up a language, you can do French, German, Russian, or Polish are the language modules that we have at the moment. Now, in second year, we continue your study of social policy and sociology, and there are a range of other sociology, political science and law modules that you can take. Now, in second year, you also have the option of doing what we call a broad curriculum module, which is to take a subject totally outside of your field of study. But it does count for your exams and for your grades. So if you're interested in geography or film studies or English, obviously those courses are not on offer to you as part of your degree programme. But to widen the experience of students, we have this broad curriculum option in second year. Now, in third year, again, I've outlined there the range of courses. They're also outlined on the course brochure that we have some copies here, but you'll get them over on the stand. So I'm not going to go into detail, but again, you can see that many of those modules help us to answer some of the questions that I posed at the beginning. The additional point to note about third year is that you have an option to study abroad under the Erasmus programme, and many students take that opportunity. You can go for 1 term or you can go for 2 terms. And in fact, we have widened the options that are available to students, and you're not now limited to just to EU countries. We do have visiting student relationships with America and Canadian universities. And that's something that is an option for you in third year. Finally then, your final year, you focus totally on sociology and social policy modules for your final degree, and you are required to do a dissertation, which is a thesis in which you identify a particular topic that you have grown or developed an interest in, and you are supervised by a member of the academic staff. So again, that's just a very quick rush through the nature of the course, the sorts of modules, and the other groups of students that you'll be studying with. Now, the next slide just again gives us some idea about what career options there are for students who graduate with a BA in sociology and social policy. Unlike the BSS course that Gloria was outlining, this is an academic 4-year honours degree programme, but it doesn't have the professional qualification element that goes with social work. So again, just some examples there. I'll just dip in and out of some of them about opportunities or areas where our graduates work. The voluntary sector and the non-governmental organisation, the NGO sector, is probably the area where most students tend to end up. But they can also get involved in youth work, community work. Various public sector organisations would be interested in students who had a degree in sociology and social policy. Social research may be an area that you're interested in, and you would probably need to do a master's in social research, but many of our students do take that route of an opportunity in research or academia. Again, many of our graduates don't, actually end up with in areas wider than the field of study, like marketing, PR, human resources. A number of our graduates have actually done a HDip and gone on to do teaching, journalism, the media. Again, that would probably require a master's, but again, a qualification in sociology and social policy would give you a very good background for a journalistic career, and obviously you'd need to do a master's to actually get the journalism skills. So a number of our graduates have ended up. So again, there are a wide range of opportunities for students who have this type of degree. And again, the sorts of organisations, the HSE, the Department of Social Protection, Vincent de Paul, again, as you can see, Focus Ireland, I have that on twice, the voluntary organisations or the organisations that have a social remit typically would be interested in graduates with this particular degree. Increasingly, students go on to do further study, and again, there are a wide range of postgraduate courses that our graduates have undertaken, from addiction studies to law, now Gloria mentioned the Masters in Social Work, and again, going that route is one that increasingly many students take. Perhaps you don't get the points for the BSS course that Gloria was talking about, but you do get the points for the BA in Sociology and Social Policy. That is enough to qualify you with a social science degree, and you can then go on and do the Masters in Social Work. Okay, well that's there. And while the last slide gave a range of postgraduate opportunities, the particular ones that exist in Trinity are the Masters in Applied Social Research, the Masters in Social Work, or if you're interested in an academic career, you can go on and do an MPhil or a PhD in either social policy or sociology. So again, how to apply the course code, as I said, TRO83, school leavers through the CAO, deadline the 1st of February. If you are a mature student, if you're 23 plus, you also must apply through the CAO, but you must also apply through the Trinity Admissions Office. Deadline is February the 1st. Selection is by application and interview, and we receive quite a number of applications for mature student places. Unfortunately, we can't take all of you. Again, as Gloria said, further information is available from our stand in the front hall, or contact us directly. The information is on the Trinity website. So we leave it there. If there are any questions, either of us would be happy to answer them, and enjoy the rest of the visit.